Section 2, an overview of DeFi. In this section, we will cover the following topics: the current financial system and its limitations, the Internet of Value, an overview of the DeFi world, and finally, a tour of the DeFi zoo. Video 2.1: the current financial system and its limitations. Hi there, welcome back. In this section, we will develop an understanding of the innovations happening in open finance. But before that, we'll take a look at the current financial system and its limitations. After all, if the current financial system is perfect, we don't need open finance or DeFi. In fact, till this point in this course, we haven't even defined what open finance or DeFi exactly is. Imagine that you live in Venezuela, the home to the weakest currency on earth, the Bolivar. It takes around 3 million Venezuelan bolivars to get $1. Now, this is at the time of creating this video. By the time you watch this video, the bolivar could be even weaker on account of rampaging hyperinflation in the country. As a Venezuelan resident, you are probably better off holding your savings in the form of US dollars. But getting US dollars is very, very difficult out there. Life is hell for the common man in Venezuela. The Venezuelans are forced to participate in the financial system of the country with limited avenues to escape the financial tyranny. Problem number 1 with the modern financial system. Depending on where you are, your money may not be a stable store of value. Governments can devalue your savings via unlimited money printing. And as citizens of such countries, often you don't have very many alternatives to escape the pain. According to the Global Fintechs Report 2017 by the World Bank, over 1.7 billion adults are unbanked. In other words, they don't have a bank account or access to a mobile money provider. In other words, a large percentage of the world adult population is unbanked. In fact, 50% of this unbanked adult pool live in just 7 developing countries: Bangladesh, China, India, Pakistan, Indonesia, Nigeria, and Mexico. Now, why is financial inclusion important? Well, if you don't have a bank account with a financial institution, it is just about impossible for you to consume your regular financial products such as savings, loan, investment, or insurance products. We are living in financial times, and it is really unfortunate if the access is cut off to you and you are not financially included. Problem number 2 with the modern financial system. The current system is not financially inclusive. It keeps a lot of adults out of the system, thereby adversely affecting the quality of their life. If you think about it, much of the money in the world is caged. What do I mean by this? Your money is often caged within your national boundaries. Say if you live in India, like I do, it is difficult or impossible for you to invest in Indonesian bonds or Nigerian equities. If you are a client of a private bank or a wealthy high net worth individual, you can make all these investments through your private bank. If you are a regular Joe, you can't do any such investments. Likewise, if you are living in the US, what you can invest in depends on your net worth and income levels. If you are an accredited investor, you can invest in hedge funds, private equity, and venture capital funds. If you aren't, your access is rather limited. This brings us to problem number 3 with the modern financial system. For most people, their money is caged, and even within the same country, there is differential access to financial products and markets for people based on their wealth and income levels. Most of us keep our money in banks. Say you have $1 million in your bank accounts. What happens to your money if these banks where you keep your money fail? Do you know how much of your deposits are insured by the FDIC? Are you aware that when you are depositing money with a bank, actually you are lending money to that bank? What if the bank fails? Banks are businesses. Unlike any other business, they can fail too. During the great financial crisis of 2008, several banks were on the verge of collapse. We saw the demise of Lehman Brothers, Merrill Lynch, and Bear Stearns, but it was a touch and go for several commercial banks. Citibank shares went all the way to $1 back then. This brings us to problem number 4 with the modern financial system. We are forced to deal with a few trusted financial institutions where the money and risks are concentrated. This is a surefire recipe for disaster. We are forced to trust institutions while we know that they can't be trusted. when you do an international wire transfer or even do a simple foreign currency remittance through PayPal, the middleman, in this case the banks doing the wire transfer, or PayPal in the second case, takes a nice little fee. The middlemen in financial services have erected these toll roads through which we are forced to pass. And every time we do a financial transaction, the toll keepers collect a nice fee. And this fee is often disproportionate to the quality of service or the value added by the intermediaries. When you use a credit card to buy a latte at Starbucks, how many financial intermediaries are involved? Take a guess. It's usually your credit card issuer, a payment processing company like Visa or MasterCard, and the bank with whom Starbucks has an account. More often than not, the intermediaries take their pound of flesh. Problem number 5 in modern financial system. The financial intermediaries add to the cost of our financial transactions, and these costs are often disproportionate to the value added by them. This brings us to the end of this video. Video summary. In this video, we learnt about some of the drawbacks of the modern financial system. Depending on where you live and your income level, you may be exposed to one or more of these problems. In the next video, we will learn about the Internet of Value.